Chapter 11. So that's it right over there, Jackson said, pointing to the far corner of East High's parking lot as two brunette cheerleaders accompanied him across the blacktop. Wow, the girl to his left commented, pulling her wavy hair into a ponytail. I can't believe your dad actually let you take this new GT to school. Well, he didn't actually tell me I could, Jackson admitted, casually dribbling a basketball as they walked. But what he doesn't know can't hurt him, right? Those are some nice rims, the taller brunette to his right commented, applying another coat of shiny pink lip gloss. So you gonna take us for a little ride? You bet. Upon reaching his father's navy blue GT, Jackson popped the trunk and began showing off the dual subwoofers inside. Here, I'll let you hear what they sound like real fast. While unlocking the driver's door, an approaching black tank top with a platinum head of medium-length hair caught his attention. The more hotties, the better, he thought. Hey, Jackson. The blonde smiled, strutting toward him from the opposite side of the car. What's up? He acknowledged, trying to figure out if he'd met this girl before. She definitely looked a bit older than high school age. Is this pretty thing your car? She said, setting down her oversized turquoise handbag. Yeah, he said, slightly hesitant. Do I know? Good. The sound of shattering glass then pierced the air, inciting sharp screams from the two pining brunettes. With his jaw practically on the ground, East High's power forward watched in horror as the passenger side window exploded into pieces all over his father's black leather seats. Do you know who I am? The freckled blonde grinned as she cocked a wooden baseball bat for another blow. What, no answer? With another swift burst of strength, the crazed woman sent the blunt piece of wood plowing through the rear passenger window, creating the same devastating effects. Paralyzed with shock, Jackson stood in a limp stupor, his forgotten basketball rolling down the slope of the parking lot. Excuse me, ladies, she said, closing the trunk. The two wide-eyed girls immediately stepped back, watching in disbelief at the spectacle unfolding before them. Let me ask you again, you pathetic douchebag. Who am I? Taking 2 steps toward the rear of the battered sports car, Jackson's open mouth failed to articulate anything. What a shame, came the reply. Giving way under the forceful impact of the bat, the GT's rear windshield had now imploded, scattering shards of reflected light through the vehicle's pristine interior. You were at the prom 2 nights ago, weren't you? Jackson muttered. I'll take that as a yes. Taking a moment to demolish both taillights, she then turned and walked along the passenger side to the car's front. You spoke with a girl named Avery Renshaw that night, didn't you? What pretty headlights you have, Jackson. A moment later, what remained of them lay scattered on the ground below. You must think you're a real man, don't you? Calling a helpless pregnant girl a slut right in front of her prom date? You're such a man, Jackson. The two witnessing brunettes slowly turned in unison to look at each other, then resumed watching the school's star basketball player get verbally ripped to shreds. Let me ask you again, hotshot. Who am I? A blank stare was all Jackson could muster. You're even dumber than you look, you know that? It's a pity, too, you worthless waste of space, because it's such a beautiful windshield. 2 vicious swings and 5 seconds later, the only glass that remained intact was on the driver's side. All right, P-Brain, you listen to me and you listen well. I had better not hear about you saying one more word to my daughter as long as you live. You or any of your loser friends. You hear me? Yes, ma'am. Jackson muttered, his hands quivering at his side. Seriously, you don't know anything about my daughter. How dare you have the gall to prance up to a pregnant teenager and accuse her of anything? She could have been raped for all you know, you ignorant, pathetic excuse for a man. Oh, and let me guess. Are you going to go home to your mommy and your daddy and cry about how a mean lady came and destroyed your pretty little car? Is that what you're going to do? Run home like a little girl and cry to your parents? No, Jackson conceded, his eyes fixed on the raging blue ones before him. I deserved it. You're going to make sure my daughter is left alone. You understand me? Yes, I understand you. Slipping the bat into her bag, Allison threw Jackson a smile as she turned and strutted off. Plate glass crunched beneath him as Jackson calmly took a seat in his father's destroyed vehicle. Closing the door and placing his hands on the leather steering wheel, he turned to his left at the two cheerleaders gawking at him. You can keep this quiet, right? Nobody needs to know. I think it's probably too late for that, the taller of the two remarked, pointing across the vehicle. Shifting his gaze to the right, Jackson was met with half a dozen phones and awestruck faces pointed in his direction. Having stayed home from school that day, Avery lounged comfortably on the couch in some black sweats and a pink t-shirt. Flipping through the local channel, she brought another spoonful of Rocky Road to her lips and savored the smooth chocolate ice cream and crunch of the almonds. Hey, sweetheart, Allison hollered as she burst through the front door. Geez, Mom, Avery yelped, dropping her spoon. You don't have to yell, I'm right here. Oh, sorry, Allison said, continuing down the hall. I just figured you'd be in bed. What's with the bat, Mom? A nervous wave surged through her as Avery's imagination began calculating what on earth her mother had been up to. Oh, nothing serious, really, Allison called out, returning the bat to its designated spot beneath her bed. Avery stared blankly at the infomercial host as her mind continued conjuring the possibilities. What does that mean? Nothing serious, Mom? That sounds kind of serious if you ask me. Stop worrying, Allison insisted, walking now into the kitchen. What should we do for dinner? Frozen pizza, burritos? We have some leftover chicken and rice. Mom, you're freaking me out. Tell me what you did. With a frozen pizza in hand, Allison stepped briefly into view to make eye contact with her daughter. Let me put it this way for you. You're not going to need to worry about being made fun of at school anymore, okay? How can you be sure? Avery moaned incredulously. I wish you would just tell me. Mother's secrets, Allison asserted, preheating the oven to 425. 2 hours later, Avery received a video link within a text message from Marnie. The shocking footage, dubbed Blonde Rage, had accumulated nearly 20,000 views within 3 hours of being posted. Mom, Avery stammered as she trudged into her mother's room. Yes, honey, Allison said, looking over the top of her mystery novel. Handing her phone to Allison, Avery took a seat on the bed beside her mother. What have you done?